The Mike and Billy Show. Very honored to welcome in the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, who is competing this Sunday for the WWE Championship against John Cena. Money in the Bank pay-per-view. It's on, obviously, on pay-per-view, live. Yeah. Mark, how are you doing this one?
I'm doing great, man. How y'all?
Good, good.
You know, Mark, I was really excited when Mike told me that we got you as a guest. I was more excited the fact that you weren't in studio because you'd use me as a freaking toothpick. I'm a small guy, and you're an intimidating man.
Put it out your mind. I know you have fantasies and stuff, but I'm not putting you in my mouth.
Well, believe me, I don't want to be near your mouth at all. But you're. I'm very excited for the recent run you've been on, man. I mean, 18 years in the business, and finally, the Hall of Pain is open for business, and I'm really enjoying all the work you've been doing recently with your career.
Well, I appreciate it, man. These last 5 years have been pretty special, and culminating to this point. And it's ironic that it's the Money in the Bank pay-per-view because 5 years ago when I signed this contract, I took a 50% pay cut, and I spent the rest of this time trying to validate the fact that they needed to pay me more. And John Cena is going to be the recipient of Mark Henry trying to get his paper, and it's not good for him.
What a great example of basically showing your worth to the company by taking out the face of the company. Brilliant move, by the way.
I would like to say it's my evil genius, but it just happened that way because it was supposed to be that way.
It's fate, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it was fate.
Going way back to when you started back in the early '90s. I just read, and I didn't know this. You were trained by Bret and Stu Hart?
Yeah. Dr. Tom Pritchard was the one that started me. He was employed as the first developmental. Me and Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, if you will, were the first two developmental talents for the WWE. They moved us up to Stamford, Connecticut, and trained us in a warehouse with Dr. Tom Pritchard,
wow,
who did an awesome job. It's just that during that time, I was more focused on girls and seeing how much cash I can blow, and not on blow, but just blowing money.
No, you were a young guy living the rock star lifestyle. It's cool, man.
So I lost my mind, and then I ended up getting sent to Canada, which I thought was horrible, but it ended up being the best thing that ever happened because the example that I had to learn from was Bret Hart.
Yeah.
And I got to meet Leo Burke, who was arguably one of the best trainers in history. He trained Bad News Brown and a bunch of almost every other guy that ever came from Canada.
Right.
All of the Jerichos and people know exactly who he is. He worked with everybody. But I got to spend a little time with Stu Hart, and he was the one that was like, your mentality, you like people too much.
Yeah.
He was like, Stu Hart was he was an ass kicker, man. And he was like, look, if you don't want to do this, then don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, you got to commit yourself and quit trying to be popular and go out there and be the champ. And I was like, wow, that's that idea.
He got you focused, huh?
So I had to get my mind right, And when I came back, the sexual chocolate and all that stuff was fine, but it took for me to lose my mother and September 11th, and to realize how much pain was in the world,
right,
for me to focus in on what mattered. And I came back and won the World's Strongest Man again in 2002, and I've been on the roll ever since.
Absolutely have.
Understatement of the century, because you certainly tapped into something, and I think if Stu were still here, he'd certainly be proud of the work you're being put in, because it's just like Alice Cooper, man. No more Mr. Nice Guy here. That's what it is. It's Mark Henry, and he's here, and they think Daniel Bryan's got the beard, but Mark Henry, fear the beard on that one.
Right.
much more intimidating force coming from Mark Henry.
Well, I tell you what, there's a lot more desperation. A lot of people don't understand. The best fighters in the world are the ones that come from the most impoverished situations. The ones with very little to lose. And I'm truly blessed, but man, I had to prove myself monetarily to this company, and I've done that. I took a 50% pay cut 5 years ago with the intent on being marginalized and kind of phased out. But my goal was to get my money, and here it is. It's ironic that the pay-per-view that I'm going to be still in the show in is Money in the Bank.
Proving your worth with Money in the Bank. Absolutely.
I'm trying to get it. So, I'm ready to go out there and show the world why I deserve to be the WWE champion.
Well, and certainly, you proved your worth. I think for me, a couple weeks ago, the promo you cut, you made everyone a puppet out there. You were sending the feelers out on Twitter. You had people in. I was tuning in, and part of me, I'll be honest, part of me was saying, I think this is going to be a work. I hope this is a work. Man, I really hope this is a work. And then when I saw it happen, man, you just, it was one of those moments, as they say on the internet, it was a mark out moment. Literally, no pun intended. I mean, I jumped out of my chair. I was thrilled for you, man, because you had everyone going, and it's a credit to the character you've been doing here. What was the inspiration there for that? Is it just like you said, you're proving your weight here. You're remembering where you came from, your mom, everything. Is it just drawing inspirations from that brought into that promo?
Well, I mean, I'm trained. That's a part. I've been to acting school.
Yeah.
I have acting aspirations, but more than anything, when I'm out there, I believe me. It's very easy to get emotional when you care about what you're doing, whether that emotion is joy, anger, frustration, sadness, whatever it is. I get into it. Mm-hmm. And I was 100% in, and everybody else, when it was time for me to turn the switch, that was easy too. So, the tears stopped, and the venom and fire and brimstone started.
It really was. It was an amazing moment. It was one of those... it was definitely a game-changer type moment. I was actually talking to somebody else at the radio station earlier today about this because they had heard we were talking to you, and he actually said, and both of us in our 30s, been watching wrestling since we were little kids, he's like, that's a top 10 all-time moment for me, and I had to agree with them because you don't see that deep of emotion. And it's not an everyday promo, so kudos to you, Mark. It was a hell of a promo, man. It was a great moment.
Much respect.
But speaking of the acting, so you said you have aspirations of that, and we put it out on Twitter and social media that we were going to be talking to you, and if anybody had any questions, and it was also in that promo where you said got a lot of gas in the tank. Obviously, your immediate goal is a long and healthy WWE Championship run after Sunday.
Right.
But after that, you have aspirations of acting. Do you see, I don't want to say an end date, but do you see like your future in 5 years being in acting, or do you still want to be active in WWE?
I'm never going to leave the WWE. For the next 30, 40 years till they put me in the ground, I'm going to be involved in some capacity.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I'm not going to, of course, be wrestling, but I'm going to be involved for forever. As far as, when I say forever, I mean as long as I'm above the grass.
As long as they'll have you, yeah, absolutely.
As far as like me being in the ring, that's just it's got a life expectancy on it.
Right, obviously.
I mean, I'm 42 years old, but when I said I got a lot of gas in the tank, I meant that I know for a fact that I can go another 3 years maybe,
Right.
and maintain this same work rate. I may not be able to work 150, 200 days no more.
But when you do, you'll be giving 100% absolutely out there.
Man, if I work 50 days, if I work 100 days, the days that I'm out there is going to be, I'm going to be the best guy out there.
Hell yeah, absolutely, man.
When I can't do it no more and I feel like I'm taking a step back or I'm limping or I got to lay it down. I got to sit down because I don't want to tarnish what I've built these last 5 years by putting a subpar Mark Henry out there.
Right.
And was going, oh, man, I feel sorry for him. He's limping around.
And not even just the last 5 years. I mean, you've been here for 18 years, and that's no joke, man. That's longer than a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's longer than most. That's a rare breed right there.
You're up there with Taker for longevity, at least in this company.
And still going.
I mean, it's cool. I would like to get 20 years of active duty. And if I could do that, then I feel like, okay, I can go home. I can ride off into the sunset. But
or at least take a vacation.
What is that?
I don't know either, Mark. I haven't had one in quite a few years.
There's no vacations in wrestling. I mean,
There's not even
unless you just say, you know what, guys. You can fire me if you want to, but I'm gone for 2 or 3 months.
I'm going to Disneyland for a couple days.
Right, because you get hurt. That ain't vacation. You got to go to therapy. You got to do this. You got to do that.
Right.
I mean, you're not sitting on the beach in the Caymans or nothing.
Right. You said now saying that you want to be in the WWE the rest of your life, or at least as long as they'll have you. Would you be looking to do broadcasting? Would you look to be training younger wrestlers coming up? What are you looking for the future of in your role in the company?
No, man, I'm not planning on running for president or nothing like that. But I think I'm doing educational programming, community involvement.
Sure.
Expanding the international WWE brand, being an activist for people that are less fortunate, and also there's a lot of former WWE talent that have issues that I want to hands-on go around the United States, find these guys and try to help them get their lives in order.
That's awesome.
And I'm sure that when that day comes, Vince is going to say, okay, Mark, go ahead. Do what you got to do.
Well, it's hard to say no to you, right?
Well, I mean, he said no before. I'll hire my staff. I'll get my people that I trust to do what I ask them to do. And I'm going to hire people that's a lot smarter than me. So, that's going to be hard to find, I guess. But I guess I'll look anyway.
Absolutely, man. And I commend you for that one. You're a mean man with a good heart, which is good. But I hope that good heart.
Well, it's passion.
It's passion. Absolutely.
It's passion. Like I want to be great every day. And on Sunday, John Cena is going to see a guy standing across from him that wants more than he does.
Absolutely, man.
And a lot of people may not get it, but the look that you'll see will be a man that's desperate and a man that wants to be champion. John Cena's been champion. He's like Rocky in Rocky 3.
That's a perfect analogy.
He done had it. He done been there. I'm Clubber Lang. I want his throat.
Hell yeah, man.
He's gotten comfortable with the title, and you're just hungry. You're that guy in the gym beating on those bags until they bleed.
Listen, man, the sand is pouring out.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
And Cena's been saying, he's ever since he became the champion, it's my time, it's my time. I'm telling you, man, the Hall of Pain, it's the Hall of Pain's time. It needs a new inductee, and I think John Cena's the perfect one. He's the crown jewel, I think, for the Hall of Pain. And personally, I'm pulling for you, Mark. I think, like you said, the passion's there. I think the character's there. The mean streaks there. I haven't looked forward to a title match like this in a long time, and I'm really looking forward to what you got this Sunday.
Well, I appreciate it. At least I got one fan.
You got two here, Mark.
At least
Don't
two.
worry.
Both of us are on your side there, Mark.
Absolutely, but that's the other reason is because I'm really afraid of you. So,
Even over the phone.
I can't choke you through the phone, so you safe.
that's what I'm really thankful for right now. I pulled up this old Sports Illustrated article that was written about you back in '91. It said at the time it had this story about you accidentally dropping a 352-pound weight on your foot and suffering only a bone bruise. I can't even imagine what Cena could throw at you this Sunday that could possibly put you down for a 3 count.
You know what, man? Like, the one thing about John Cena is he's resilient. And, the thing about him is it takes more than one thing. But every time he's been hit with the world's strongest, he laid down. And that's what I do. I put people down, and they stay down. And this will be the first time in his career where his resiliency is not going to help him. Him avoiding me is the only thing that can help him. And I'm going to be in his face.
I absolutely love it. I'm like Billy. I'm really looking forward to this match, and not only just the physical intimidation, but the psychological stuff you've been doing the past couple weeks, like laying the title down and giving him like punking him out when he would try to reach for it. You'd step and he'd back up and flinch.
It's an old school street brawl,
it's
man.
It's great. It's absolutely great. I couldn't be more looking forward to this. So it's been great to talk to Mark Henry. He is going up against John Cena for the WWE Championship this Sunday, live on pay-per-view at the WWE's Money in the Bank. And as well, we have coming right to Boston here, WWE Live Super Show, August 31st at the TD Garden. The tickets are on sale now, and I'm assuming, Mark, you're going to be a part of that?
I am.
Excellent.
Boston is one of my top 5 cities that I like to come to because of how the fans are. Whether they like me or not, I could care less. They come out, they scream till they red in the face, and people are hoarse and throwing. I don't condone people throwing stuff. I hope that the security catches them and throw their rear ends out. But in Boston, at least once during the show, somebody gonna throw something.
Like you said, it's passion, Mark.
It's passion, Mark. That's all it is.
Passion.
Passion. What is it say?
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Mark, for coming on the Mike and Billy Show. We absolutely appreciate it. And when you do come to Boston, if you have a second, come on into the studio. We'd love to have you in.
All right, man. I sure appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
All right, y'all be good.